Hey, tonight's shave is with this Frank Shaving Silvertip Badger, and we're just going to throw him in some water. He hasn't been used too many times. Just a quick shave tonight. And I'll let him soak for just a few minutes just to get wet. And tonight is use number 109. 50 dots on that side, 58 on that side. So use 109 with the Nacet. This is the first blade that I have taken this far. I've heard that it kind of just doesn't matter. Most blades will go quite a long ways, like 50, something like that. All right, so I've got some others that I've got going, but they're just like around 15 and 20, you know, that sort of thing. Gillette Sheraton is what we're going to be putting it in. A great razor. Made it in a couple of years. Was it 41 and 47 or something like that? I can't remember. It's really late at night. Sterling green is noisy. How about that? Sterling green is kind of a clone of polo green. I never really wore it too much, so I don't really have memories associated with it. This was part of the Black Friday sale that came out. They're actually still out right now. Pretty good deal, $7.50 for 3 ounces. Sterling's an excellent soap. And this is the first time I'm going to be using this scent. I'm going to be grinding it in a custom-made shave lather bowl. And notice that this is about the right size as my actual custom lather bowl. Doesn't have the ridges, but ridges aren't as important, to me at least, as the right shape. The walls here, I believe, are going to be tall enough to keep the lather in, and it's but not so deep, and it's wide enough so where I have room to move. That's my theory. So let's see how it works. And it's not a perfectly smooth surface in there, as you may know if you've used Cool Whip. There's a little bit of a matte texture to it. Maybe that'll grab a hold of some soap and act as a drag instead of something where it slides around. We'll see. It's definitely inexpensive. And I love recycling where you're actually recycling instead of using resources to send plastic to a place where they have to use up more resources to turn it into, you know, that's not really, it could be better. Let's just put it that way. All right, I'm going to splash my face. A little over 24 hours since my last shave. I do have hard water, and it is cold because it's the winter time. All right, are we good? Yeah, we are. Just the Badger did not spend too much time in the water. So I'm going to take it out. Notice how it's dripping. Shake most of the water out. This is a 22 millimeter knot. I may put a O-ring on here and kind of squinch it up just a little bit to keep it from splaying quite so much. We'll see. He hasn't been used too many times. He's not super soft yet. I hope that improves with age. All right, we'll do a 30-second load, and that was a 15 marker right there. So we'll go to 45. Oh yeah, that's a nice scent coming up from there. Very nice. Yeah, I can see why they would do that. I'm going to do a little rinsing of the container here. All right, we're ready to go right into the bowl. I'll just start out with what I have in terms of water, what I have in the brush. Make sure that the soap that I have in the brush mixes pretty adequately with the water that's left in the brush. Unfortunately, the lather is going to be hard to see because it is white and the bowl is white, but I'm sure we can figure all that out. It's a big, nice, soft brush, not a lot of backbone, and so if that's what you're looking for, the trend these days is with high backbone badgers. For those people who like badgers, often they are kind of high backbone. I think I might have knocked some right out of the bowl. This bowl doesn't have that inner lip that my normal one does. The first Frank shaving brush knot that I got had this, it was quite prickly, and I got it all the way from, you know, the company in China, and I sent it back and they were great. It took a little bit of effort with a language barrier, but eventually I got it sent back to them and they credited my account, you know, very nice. And then I said, you know, a couple of months passed and I had this other knot that was a little prickly. A nice scent, yeah. And the prickle went away. It wasn't as prickly as the Frank shaving knot. And that prickly part just faded, and I was like, oh man, did I send that Frank shaving knot away without giving it a little time to get better, you know? So after a while, a few months, I ordered another one. Waited around and it arrived. And so now we're maybe in its 6th use now. Yeah, lather looks good. We are getting there. So it's definitely not as nice as my Virginia Ching Silvertip, as my the premium grade from the Golden Nib. Those are nicer than this one right out of the box. Now, one cool thing about the Frank shaving though is that they have a pretty good selection of pre-made brushes. I looked on the Golden Nib website. They don't really have the pre-made option. You have to buy the knot and then set it yourself, which is not hard, guys. A little bit of silicone, just standard silicone. You get a handle online. There's some on AliExpress that are just $6 for a good size, you know. And then throw a little bit of silicone inside the well there. And sometimes you have to put a rubber band around the brush bristles to hold them straight up so that the knot won't come out, you know, of the hole while it's drying. And I give it about 3 days. I don't think you need to wait that long. And then you go with it. The great thing about silicone, it's not as permanent as the epoxy that some people use. So that's 2 teaspoons now. Looks like this is working as a great lather bowl. My fingers aren't getting messy. This is also probably good as a travel lather bowl since it's not going to get broken, and if you lose it, no big deal. Also, I don't know about you, but sometimes I visit relatives' homes and you've kind of got your shaving gear in the bedroom where you're staying instead of sitting out on the sink. And a bowl like this with a top to it, it might be nice to be able to put all your razor, your brush, and like a soap sample or a travel stick or something all in here, and then just be able to carry this to the bathroom with you to do your shaving. So that could be cool. This lather's looking really good. Maybe I could be going a little faster if I put more water in more quickly, but it's looking just excellent. All right, let's do a little finger test here. Nice and slick. That's a good lather. I think we're pretty much ready to go. I want to refill the syringe actually and put in just like a little bit more. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good scent. I didn't see it coming. A year or two ago when I ordered my first sample set from Stirling, poured over that like 60 count list of scents that they have to try to figure out the ones that I might like the best. Took a while. But the ones that I've really enjoyed from Stirling have been the ones that are kind of copies or clones or based off of colognes. Just the way it worked out. All right, let's take a look at this lather. Put it on. And just get my face wet one more time, and I wonder if this lather might be a little thick, so I'll leave a little bit of water on my face and we'll just see. Oh, puffy cloudness. Nice strong scent. Definitely some people who are going to say this is just kind of floppy, and it is true that when you spray it, a lot of the hairs will move away and you don't even kind of feel them, you know. Yeah, the scent is fairly relatively strong. I'd say maybe a 5, maybe a 6. Depending on your nose. Well, all right. 109. And, you know, if I didn't have some aggressive razors, I wouldn't have gone to 109. If you only have mild razors, and I could definitely understand that. I really enjoy a good, smooth, mild shave. But if that's all you have, then you may not be able to take your blades super far, because I guess the way the edge smooths out, a mild razor just is sometimes just not able to make it cut very well. Not able to set the edge up at the right angle to keep it cutting properly. And so you just have to, maybe I would have had to stop at about 40, maybe 50 if I had to stick with mild razors. Now, that was a creamy mix. That was nice. If you're looking for luxurious and not quite on the wet side, then this mix right here is your money maker. Very nice. Man, can you see the The shine right there. I mean, that is just a good looking lather. And this is a 22 millimeter brush. Look how much it's covering. Yeah, this is so spread out. I think I might put an O-ring on this one and see how it changes the brush. Yep, I have it dialed in nicely, as it turns out. So that was almost 2.5 teaspoons of water, 30 seconds of loading with a soft Badger brush. And so if you vary from that equipment, then you could also change the formula a little bit to match. All right, second pass, cross grain. Notice how I'm holding the razor in a very close, tight group here. I'm not spanning across the razor. I don't want leverage. I want it to, don't want it to dig in. I want it to glide on top of my skin. Instead of dig into it, and that will help to prevent irritation. And nicks. So this is an open comb. You can see the teeth, and it is a very nice smooth razor. Don't let, just because something is an open comb, it doesn't mean it's aggressive. Especially some of the vintage Gillettes. All right, rinse. All right, let us grab some more lather. Plenty of lather for this shave, so maybe that 30 seconds is a good mark, at least for this type of brush. I do have hard water. So Stirling is just fine in hard water, and you might even be able to use less soap if you have nice soft water. This brush is feeling really good today. Yeah, I'm going to put the O-ring on there and see how it does. It's kind of nice, the O-ring concept, because you can just customize it on the fly. Do one shave with an O-ring on there. Do another shave with 2 O-rings on there to further bring in the splay. All right. Don't have any irritation yet. Just kind of lightly patrolling the corners, the edges there. Now this is my trouble spot right here. And just doing a little extra buffing. One of the nice things about Stirling is all that slickness protects you really well. All right, 3 passes. the first pass, I experienced a little bit of tugging, but it's not a big deal. After that is cakewalk. Excellent, comfortable shave. I'm not going to do my fourth pass on the neck only. There is a little bit of length showing in a few hairs in my trouble area there, but it's fine. It's late. I'm going to cut it short tonight. Cheeks feel terrific. 109, no problem. Glad I chose this brush. Sixth use, I think, and it's shaping up nicely. Very soft. The Golden Nib Premium is another soft one that I really enjoy, and it turns out this Frank shaving is coming along as well. And so if you don't like all that backbone, synthetics have a lot of backbone and springiness, even though their tips are super soft. And these types of brushes have super soft tips but less backbone, and so you get a lot of comfort, airy cloud. That's what you're kind of going to get with these types. And the Cool Whip worked really well. Really well. Let's see how much lather we had left over. Oh yeah, that might be about the perfect amount. You know, kind of 1-2 passes in case I made a mistake, or, you know, a little bit of it would have been used if I'd have done my usual half pass. So, very nice. Very happy with that. Well, I don't know if it's my brain, but that does smell like a nice clean green scent. And definitely going to have to try this one out again. Doesn't have quite as much character as some of the other ones like Arcadia and some of the others, but we'll keep it around again. So if you don't know about brushes, you've got obviously the handle, and then what you can see from the edge of the handle here all the way to the tip, that's called the loft. You know, how much of the bristles are showing from here to here. And if you sink the glue ball, the disc of glue that's holding all the roots of all the hairs, if you sink that deep inside the brush, then that restricts and it brings the hair. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's what it does. If you set it kind of high, then there's plenty of room for these guys to just kind of fold over like that and be a big shape like that. And you can decide what you want. And so you can drill the hole, have the people drill the hole deeper. If you get a custom one, obviously they can drill it to whatever size you want. If you have a drill press, obviously you can take care of that yourself. But when I say O-rings, I'm talking about taking a rubber, silicone or whatever. I think rubber is the one people use a lot of. Come at it from the handle side, push the O-ring over until it thump goes onto the hair right around here, and so it has the effect of sinking the knot a little deeper, and so it'll give you a little bit more density and a little bit more backbone than when it's all splayed out like that. And so that may be what you want. It may not, but the great thing is, if you don't like it, you can just take off the O-ring. So that's what I meant when I said I want to add O-ring to this guy. No irritation, great clean shave, zero irritation at all. Very good. Tonight, don't really feel like smelling like anything, so we're going to go with the Soap Commander Integrity. It's the unscented, and the Integrity comes in 2 flavors, menthol and menthol-free. This is the menthol-free version. I like a lot of several of their scents, but the balms are pretty much all have menthol, and for whatever reason, my skin seems to have more of a burning sensation with menthol rather than cooling. So, but fortunately, there are lots of choices out there, and I can find something. All right. So yeah, almost 2.5 teaspoons of water for that. Like I said, good stuff. Cool Whip shave bowl, huge success. terrific. Big enough, it narrows. It's almost the perfect shape, really, because it narrows at the bottom, which means that as you're mixing, this gives you room to not get your fingers messy, but the bottom gives room to hit your brush so that it kind of activates it and agitates your the bristles to then create the lather. So I'm a big fan. Big fan. So unlike a lot of these soaps from Stirling that I've had, I don't instantly love the Stirling green. I definitely would not have a problem shaving with it if I was on a desert island and this is what I had. It's nice. I'm just not instantly attracted to it like I am with so many other kinds. So we will try this another day. Otherwise, we can pass it on to somebody else. Got it at a great deal, and that's always nice when you get it on sale, and then you can pass it on for kind of what you paid for it. But this is also a scent that you may, when you revisit it, detect something different, and that could attract you to it afresh or something like that. So Stirling green is in the books. I think that's the last one out of that batch I ordered from Black Friday, and I've liked them a great deal. Fairly comfortable shave, excellent cut, really happy with the whole thing. And I hope there was something here for you. Maybe you're here for the Cool Whip and it worked out. But 109 is in the books. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care and good night.